Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Super Jerry 27's Nerd Cave. We're talking about comic books, video games, some social commentary, movies. So if you like that kind of thing, please subscribe. I'm on my way to 600, so that's really amazing for a low-budget YouTuber like myself. But con season is upon us here on the West Coast, and I went to my first mini con this Saturday. I don't even remember the day it was. It was on a Saturday. It was fun. I got to meet four creators that I'd never met that I wanted to meet. Brian Azzarello, Alex Sinclair, Stephanie Phillips, and Tim Seeley. Sorry, Mr. Seeley. I only had you sign 3 things. That's why I didn't remember. But I'm not here to talk about that experience right now. I'm looking at all the stacks of hardcovers and floppies that I got signed here. This video is about what not to do at a convention since they're coming up. If you're a first timer or an old ham like me, you can still screw up. And I really didn't do a good job at it's the Arizona Comic Arts Festival. I really did not do great. So first thing I forgot, I've got OCD, as you can tell by how all these books are behind me. I forgot to grab the hand sanitizer bottle from my car and put it into my buddy Lee's car. So that's the first error, because you don't want to get con crud. Everybody talks about con crud. I've been going to conventions since '89, with gaps in between, but I've never gotten sick due to going to a con, shaking hands, flipping through comics and everything. I've been lucky. I'm going to knock on wood, so my camera's going to shake. So always bring your hand sanitizer. Second, make sure you don't grab the wrong book for a creator. I've never done that before. So for poor Mrs. Stephanie Phillips, I grabbed a Stephanie Williams book because I only looked at the first name. It's that Tales of Earth 6 Stan Lee. So I handed her the book. She's like, "What did I do in this?" And I'm like, "Oh, no. She's like, "No, it's Stephanie Williams." And I apologized. I felt like an asshole. She was very nice and cordial about it. So I was like, "Oh, thank you for, I don't know, helping my stupidity." But I mean, her being nice and my mistake like that, I did tell my local comic book shop to put me on for Hawkeye and Black Widow, because I tend to people who are kind to me at conventions and very cordial. I will buy your stuff. Period. It's just how I've always worked. So that's the second boo boo I did, and then the third one is probably the biggest boo boo. So I learned a long time ago at San Diego Comic Con in the early '90s. I think late '90s. I was a teenager. I had a stack of books for Jim Lee. Right, it included the first and second appearances of Omega Red, and he was coming out of a booth. And I just asked him, "Hey, I just want him to sign like the top copy, right?" Because I had a little stack. Because I was dumb back then. Grading wasn't a thing. Like, there were grades, but they weren't slabbed and all this happy shit. So I would put the books in like a magazine bag just to have them, so I could whoop them out and get them signed real quick and take off. So I had done that, and Mr. Lee signed the first one, and then he continued to sign the rest of them. And I had like 10 books and nowhere to put them. There was no table. And back then, the ink did not dry as quick as it does now. So my first appearance, I have several. One of my first appearances of Omega Red has Jim Lee's signature on it in smudged ass ink. So if he comes to a convention near me, I might take that book and be like, "Mr. Lee, can you fix the signature and then get it graded?" Like, maybe you can put like kind of how Rob Liefeld does that weird little cut, which is pretty sweet. So that was part of the first error I did. I had too many books to get signed at once. I like to break it up, and I'm not going to break that rule this time, because it was for Mr. Sinclair. If you bought 2 prints, he would sign 20 books. So instead of us just keeping track, because it wasn't a big convention, I bought basically all 20 books. Forgot one. I forgot to get Absolute Superman signed by him, but Mr. Azzarello signed it. But so I have the first 3 volumes of Justice League New 52 hardcover, first editions, now signed by Mr. Sinclair. That's a sick signature, man. Oh, to be birthed with a cool last name. And so in all the haste, we picked up 3 prints, because my buddy wanted one for his office when he gets it figured. And the first copy of this book, or the first, volume one, has got like an orange cover, kind of like that. And one of the prints we got had that orange. So I have a feeling we set the book down probably like this because I didn't want it to smear. If you do this, it won't smear. Just a little tip. It'll give it time to breathe. And when we picked everything up, we just missed it. Thankfully, wow, this is a long video. I'm rambling. Thankfully, Mr. Sinclair has it. Like I contacted him on Instagram. He liked the post, and then I think he commented, but Instagram isn't letting me see the post because maybe he put some sort of private information like, hey, here's my email, send me your address, I'll mail you it back. So I contacted him again on Instagram. I mean, we'll get it figured. I'll get my book. But yeah, don't be like me with a con season coming up. Don't be a dumbass. Do like 5 books, 10 if you have help. Wash hands. And double check the books you're taking so it's the right creator. So that's my things you should not do at comic book conventions. I'll do another, things to know for comic book conventions down the pipeline. But since it's starting up and ramping up, this is what you shouldn't do. I guess that's what happens when you get old. So I'll see you all at the cons. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you to every creator that I've met past years and this year's for just being so damn cool. Bye-bye.